got the top bunk, and I laid on the window and let God's sun shine in my face, and I got a suntan. And guys would say, "Pops, why do you climb up on the top bunk?" I says, "Man, I'm out on the beach getting sun and rays. What are you doing?" He said, "You know, Pops, you're something else. You're going to make you in jail, and you're going to make..." I said, "I'm laying out here on the beach. What you talking about? I'm laying on my bed right next to the window, and the sun comes right through, and I'm on the beach. What you talking about? Getting a suntan." So you got to make the best of where you're at, no matter what. It keeps your spirits up. And the bottom line is this: I wouldn't have been in jail if I could have more effectively argued my Constitution. I ended up having to do a brief from the jail, 28 pages. I sharpened the pencil on the phone on the wall. Here it is. This is a 28-page motion to dismiss. Well, this is more than that. This right here. This right here. I mean, this is all from hand, longhand. And when we got to court, the judge looked at it. He goes, "Sir, are you an attorney?" I says, "No." He says, "You've been to law school?" I says, "No, sir." He says, "You did this from jail?" I says, "Yes, sir." He says, "You did this from jail from memory?" I says, "Yes, sir." It's rather extensive. It's huge. Meanwhile, the prosecutor kicks in. She says, "Judge, do I got to answer this?" He goes, "Oh, hell yeah." This guy is kind of like this guy on Night Court on TV and Channel 2, kind of flippant. And he says, "Oh, hell yeah, counselor." He says, "What's this, a new hobby you just took up?" He says, "This guy even did his own proposed order. I don't even have to fill out an order." And he says, "Not only that, I want it done by 8 o'clock Monday morning." So all weekend she had to go to the law library and answer all this stuff. She was not a happy camper. So then she proposed that I have to have a shrink check my bolts out to see if my batteries are charged. Because if you defend your Constitution, you got to be a crazy turkey. And she found out I'm pretty well squared away. I just argue my Constitution. I asked the judge, I says, "Has it gotten this bad yet, Judge, where they got to toss you in a nut house because you defend your Constitution?" He says, "Not in my court." Okay, we got a question here.
I've heard tell of people raising the, saying they want to base their argument on the Constitution, right? And I've heard of judges speaking up and saying, "Well, the Constitution has no place in my courtroom." How can they even think about that?
Boy, that is a very serious statement. Because what that judge just did in an open court of law under Title 18 United States Code Section 2381 is he just committed an act of treason. See, the judge is sworn under Article 11 in this state, Paragraph 1, that he will uphold the Constitution of the United States and move as most immediately as is practicable to defend the Constitution, and a violation of that act would be capital felony treason under the people and government of the United States of America, and he would be subject, upon conviction, to be hung by the neck. That's how serious.
If the defendant had a driver's license and they were trying to argue a traffic matter and they were kind of in the system already and raised the constitutional objection, that the judge might say it doesn't apply?
Well, here's how we start a lot of these traffic cases, and I'll get right into that. The issue, when you first walk before a traffic court, you see, when they merged these courts together in 1963, they screwed up. They wanted to lay off half the judges, see, and they only wanted to have one building. So what they did is they merged the traffic court per se, or that docket, into the criminal court docket. And when they did that, they didn't check the rules, you see. And when they didn't check the rules, they didn't allow for jurisdictional challenges between the two courts. So what happens now is you come before the court, and there's several ways you can come before the court.